Morning friends, happy Saturday. How the heck you doing? Some crazy news, right, over the last 24 hours. And if you're anything like me, you will have a bit of a feral distrust of the media. I don't know what to believe. I don't actually know whether any of this is true. What we do know is Harry will definitely be here. Are Meghan and the children coming with him? I don't know. How are they going to protect the children's face and identity from being snapped by the press? I don't know. Are they going to stay at a royal palace? I don't know. But I genuinely fear for their safety. We all know some of the comments that even I get in this fairly tame and safe TikTok environment. Some of the comments about Harry and Meghan from the royalists are, quite frankly, absolutely off the scale, outrageous. And their safety is number one priority. Anyone's safety should be number one priority in the UK. I particularly don't want Meghan to come. I think she's an amazing person. I think she's safer elsewhere, and the same with the children.
Can we please talk about how the UK tabloids are absolutely losing their minds right now? They've got Harry and Meghan plastered all over the front pages like it's a national holiday, screaming from the rooftops that the Sussexes are moving back into the palace and that King Charles is over the moon to see his grandkids. It's wild. They want us to buy into this beautiful, tear-jerking family reunion, but honestly, nobody's falling for the fairy tale. If you look at this from a regular person's perspective, the first thing that hits you isn't awe, it's absolute anxiety over the safety situation. The British press and the paparazzi have zero chill. They're like heat-seeking missiles when it comes to Meghan and those poor kids, and we all know they won't stop hounding and targeting them the second they touch down. It's sketchy behavior, period. If Harry wants to go over there and navigate that minefield, honestly, he should probably just pack a duffel bag and go solo, leave Meghan and the kids across the pond where they can actually breathe and touch grass in peace. Dragging the family into that circus just feels like walking straight into a trap. Plus, you don't need a degree in media to see that this whole thing smells like a massive, shiny PR stunt. The palace machinery is working overtime to make the king look like the world's most doting grandpa, but regular people have eyes and we remember the receipts. You can't just strip away a family's security, kick them out of their house like a landlord trying to flip an apartment, act too booked and busy to even take a phone call, and then suddenly act like you're dying to play dress up with the grandkids. At the end of the day, regular folks understand messy family drama because we all live it. We all have that one shady relative who treats you like absolute garbage behind closed doors, but then turns around and posts a gushing, paragraphs-long birthday message on Facebook just to look good for the neighbors. This isn't a heartwarming family reunion, it's a corporate rebrand. Harry and Meghan need to protect their peace, keep those kids safe, and stop letting the palace use them as props for a quick public relations win. You ever notice how some people can turn absolutely nothing into a 3-season Netflix series? Because that's exactly what this whole Harry and Meghan situation feels like right now. The Sussexes haven't announced a trip, they haven't posted a statement, they haven't called a press conference, they haven't even dropped a mysterious Instagram hint. Nothing. Yet somehow, certain media outlets are already acting like they've got Harry's flight number, Meghan's room key, the breakfast menu, and a map showing which sofa they'll be sitting on. I'm sitting here wondering, did I miss an announcement? Because from where regular people are standing, this looks like folks planning somebody else's vacation before the travelers have even packed a toothbrush. The funniest part is how confident some of these reports sound. Sources say, insiders reveal, experts believe. At this point, the experts have probably picked out the curtains too. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan are just over there minding their business. The gap between what's actually been confirmed and what's being reported is so big you could park a double-decker bus in it, and ordinary people can see it. You don't need a royal title to understand the difference between a fact and a rumor. Imagine your neighbors started telling everyone you're moving back to town. Then they start discussing which house you'll buy, which relatives you'll visit, where you'll eat dinner, what time you'll arrive, and you're sitting at home like, I never said any of that. That's basically what's happening. What's really wild is that the conversation isn't even about Harry and Meghan anymore. It's become a giant guessing game where everyone is trying to outdo each other with the next dramatic prediction. One person says they'll visit, another says where they'll stay, then someone else claims they know who they'll meet. By next week, somebody will probably report that Archie has already chosen the wallpaper. Speaking of Archie and little Lily, can we talk about how these are actual children? every time these stories pop up, it's like people forget there's a family involved. Not characters, not plot devices, a family. A husband trying to protect his wife, a wife building her businesses, two kids growing up away from constant chaos. Honestly, that's what makes Harry so relatable to a lot of people. The guy keeps showing the world that his family comes first. Not headlines, not gossip, not public approval ratings, his family. And Meghan, she's been busy building projects, launching ideas, and creating opportunities while somehow still living rent-free in the minds of people who claim they're tired of hearing about her. That's elite-level efficiency right there. The reality is simple. If Harry and Meghan decide to visit the UK, they'll tell us. If they don't, they'll tell us that too. Until then, all this noise is just people arguing over a movie trailer that hasn't even been released for a film that hasn't been announced starring actors who haven't agreed to be in it. And honestly, the funniest thing would be if Harry and Meghan are at home laughing at it all. Imagine reading stories about where you're supposedly staying while you're still deciding what to have for lunch. That's comedy gold. So until the Sussexes actually say something, maybe everyone should calm down with the imaginary travel itinerary. Because right now, the media has built an entire theme park around a rumor, and the main attraction hasn't even shown up yet. You ever noticed how the second somebody whispers the words Harry and Meghan, half the media starts acting like they've just discovered a state secret? Seriously, it doesn't even take a real announcement anymore. Nobody needs to hear from Harry, nobody needs to hear from Meghan, nobody needs a press release. All it takes is one tiny rumor floating around like a loose shopping bag in the wind. Then boom, the engines fire up. Headlines everywhere, panels of experts appear from nowhere. Suddenly, everybody's got theories. Everybody's got sources, everybody's got insider information, and before you've had time to finish your cup of tea, a simple possibility has somehow become a full Hollywood screenplay. First it's they might visit, then it's here's where they'll stay, then it's here's who they'll meet, then here's what this means for the monarchy, then here's what this means for the next 10 years of human civilization. Relax, people, they haven't even packed a suitcase yet. The funniest part is watching these stories grow legs. One article guesses something, another article quotes the first article, a third article quotes both articles. Then suddenly everybody's quoting everyone else until the original rumor starts looking like a confirmed fact. It's like making a copy of a copy of a copy until nobody remembers what the original picture looked like. Regular folks see this and immediately recognize it. We've all watched neighborhood gossip work exactly the same way. One person says, "I heard Mike might move." 3 days later, people are discussing Mike's new address, his new job, his future dog, and the color of his curtains. Mike is still in his old house watching television. That's what this Sussex coverage feels like. The media is basically having a group project about Harry and Meghan without inviting Harry and Meghan. They're holding the meeting, taking attendance, writing the report, presenting the slideshow. Meanwhile, the people they're talking about haven't said a single word. And that's where things start getting weird, because there's a huge difference between public interest and straight-up guesswork. People being curious, fair enough. People wanting updates, sure. But when assumptions start wearing fake mustaches and pretending to be facts, that's when things get messy. What gets lost in all this noise is something pretty simple. Harry and Meghan are actual human beings, not TV characters, not avatars, not pieces on a chessboard. They're two people raising a family, handling work, living life, and probably laughing at some of these headlines themselves. Because honestly, imagine opening the news and finding out complete strangers have already planned your entire week for you. I'd be crying with laughter. At this point, the Sussexes don't even need to make news. The mere possibility of them existing near an airport seems to be enough. That's some superhero-level headline power. Meanwhile, the rest of us are left watching this giant game of telephone unfold in real time. One rumor becomes 10 stories become 100 opinions, 100 opinions become common knowledge, and everybody forgets that the whole thing started with a giant question mark. So maybe here's a crazy idea. Maybe we wait until Harry and Meghan actually say something. I know, wild concept, revolutionary stuff. But until then, all these dramatic predictions are basically people arguing over a movie trailer that nobody has seen for a film that hasn't been announced, starring actors who haven't agreed to be in it.
The UK media needs to seriously get a life because this absolute obsession with Harry and Meghan is reaching code red levels of embarrassment. Like, do these editors not have hobbies? Regular people are out here trying to survive the daily grind, pay rent, and figure out what's for dinner, but the tabloids are acting like the sky is falling because a couple across the Atlantic breathed oxygen. It's hilarious because they claim they want them gone, yet they can't stop stalking their every move like a toxic, desperate ex who won't stop checking your Instagram stories. Normal folks see right through the hustle. We all know it's just lazy clickbait designed to rile everyone up and distract us from the real world, turning ordinary family drama into some loud, fake national emergency just to sell papers. It's not journalism, it's just loud, broke behavior noise. And honestly, the public is completely exhausted by the endless, unhinged circus. And let's say it out loud, the UK press is out here straight up embarrassing themselves on a global scale right now. Aren't these journalists supposed to be dropping facts, checking sources, and giving us actual real-deal news? Instead, they're running around peddling pure fiction and unhinged basement-level gossip. This exact clown show is why Harry and Meghan packed their bags and bounced in the first place. Imagine living 24/7 under a literal microscope where people just make up stories about you for a living. Get this, the Sussexes haven't even muttered a single word about coming over, but the tabloids already have the fan fiction typed up, printed, and plastered on the front page. They're spinning massive lies and misinforming the public before anything has even happened. Regular people look at this and just laugh because it's the ultimate broke behavior. It's like that one messy neighborhood gossip who starts telling everyone you're moving into a mansion just because they saw you holding a cardboard box. The press has completely lost the plot, trading in their professional integrity for cheap clicks. And honestly, it's just sad to watch. Thank you all so much for watching. I am your host, Miles, and if there's one thing I need you to take away from this whole circus, it's this. Do not trust those messy behind tabloids. They are out here spinning fiction faster than a DJ at a rave. Seriously, don't buy the hype, don't believe the front pages, and don't let them play with your intelligence. Keep your eyes open, protect your peace, and stay skeptical. I'm out of here. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace.